Found it. Now, can you hear me now? No. Sad face. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sharon. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay. Now, my tablet, I couldn't see comments, and I only see them briefly. And then when I pushed the thing for them to show, they would go away, and I was missing comments. So I thought I'd cut my zipper panel out real quick while we are getting back. Yeah, I didn't realize anything was going on. I look up, there was one person. I'm like, whoa, I really must think. Oh my. So I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to lower my camera here a quick second. I just want to get my zipper placket. I should have been prepped and ready to go. I usually do all this stuff at my lunch hour. And like I said earlier, I did not get a lunch hour today. I spent my afternoon, my whole middle of my day in a doctor's office with my husband and his face. That kind of stuff runs in his family. They have, it's the Irish blood in him, I guess. They have tendency to get skin issues in that family. And my daughter takes after, hello, Cray. Yeah, Sharon, and fortunately he moved his office, and it was like right down the street, because it's like I told my boss I'd only be gone for so many hours, and I'm like, but it may not be that long. Well, it turned out to be longer than I told her. And fortunately, I have a very nice, understanding manager. So that helps out a lot to have, ouch, I just cut myself, guys. All right, that's fine. I'll be all right. Cut myself before, and I'll probably do it again. All right. Let me get this out. Yeah, they were close by, so we got home quickly. They moved their office, and they're like right down the street from us now. Because before we had to get on the interstate. Well, I live right by Interstate 75. If anybody's familiar with 75 that goes north and south through from Michigan down to Florida. Ugh. I live in the worst part. As far as my husband's face issue, his little squamous cell face. Yeah, he had a piece cut off his ear. He had a piece cut off his ear a few years ago. And he was supposed to go back and keep an eye out on the rest of his spots every 6 months. And my husband's like, oh, that's just a money grabber. So he waited, and then he waited until this one got bad. So, and then the doctor made the mistake of telling him that this wouldn't kill him. It would just cause problems down the road. And if it's not cleaned out now, then it gets worse. They go in deeper. Oh man, I guess I do need a, hold on, let me get a towel on my finger. My little cut is bleeding. Let me get that real quick. All right. Yeah, they his dad had a problem. His mom, well, unfortunately, she didn't live until she died, and she was like 52. So she but she's the one that's the most Irish in the family. His dad is more European. His family's more European. Boom. Yeah. Well, see, Diane, my husband should be getting checked every 6 months. Now, I'm hoping, since he got a new he got a new dermatologist today. This guy recommended him to a new dermatologist today. So he's got an appointment in 6 months, and I'm hoping he goes, because I love my husband dearly, but he's really, really funny about doctors and doctor's appointments. He won't go. I am making the lining for the new Rachelle. It's the Rachelle by Shamballa. This is her pattern from, it's the Zodiac membership. And we're working on the lining. We got the exterior done. We're working on the lining. Yeah, he had one cut off his ear. Literally, he had it growing right here on his ear. And they came in, the doctor's great. He came in and removed it. And it just the slightest little piece of his ear, you can't even tell that he had that done. So, and then like I say, today he had one on his cheek. And basically, thank you. And basically, he'll have like a line and a wrinkle in his face. And half the time he grows, sometimes he grows a beard, sometimes he doesn't. So, plus, I mean, we're 60 years old. We've been married for almost 41 years. So I ain't worried about a scar on a tiny little scar on his cheek. I don't care about that. And nor does he. So anyways, so again, I got my trim piece. It's 1 1/4 inch thick. The pocket's 10 1/2 inch square. Fold it in half. Remember, I did my little thing for anybody that just joined. I went in 5/8 inch, drew a line, put some double-sided tape on the long edge, and folded it over to give me some nice clean edge. So I'm laying this down below the line. Now I know my trim piece. Oh, I need to lower this. Sorry, guys. You don't want to look at me all this time. There we go. Perfect. And you're going to lay it below this line, the center line that I drew. You lay it right below it, the top raw edges. And then, and I got double-sided tape. I'm using 1/8 inch double-sided tape to hold this because I don't want this to get my needle all gummy. So I'm going to fold this over. You're just going to meet it. Again, I like to keep mine a little long because I like that little extra where I can hold it down and I can match better. Because the first couple times I did this, it was a hot mess. The back didn't line up right. I missed half of it. So I like to make them long so I can do it. And then push that down. I'm going to put a clip to kind of keep it closed a little bit. I double stitch, so I'll do 1/8 of an inch from the bottom first, 1/8 of an inch, and then I'll do 1/8 of an inch from the top. Let me get these big clips out of the way that I used when I sewed the bag together. Give me a quick second. Again, for anybody who just joined as I do this, I'm using my bag vinyl is it's all Tulip Bee vinyl, every bit of it. My print is her Signature Smooth Morning Meadow, that white, that's really, really pretty. The pink in it, this is Morning Meadow here. The pink is her Faux Real Saya Pink. Love it. It's a great pink. And then there's a light blue, which is Faux Real. I'll show you details of the bag when we get back to it. I don't want to bring it back out yet, so we can get going on this. But the light blue is her Oceanic Faux Real. And then the very center of my strap is her Glimmer collection in sapphire. It's gorgeous. It's shimmery. It's glimmery, just like it says. Back stitch at the top and box, and then go ahead and you can top stitch, and you can do this at a longer stitch length if you want. I'm using a little over 4.5, maybe 4.75. You know, you kind of that's kind of the stitch that I kind of rest on a little bit. So I did my top stitch at the bottom, and I'm going to do one at the top because I like that little extra stitching. Again, this is different than the pattern calls for. She's got welt pockets in her pattern. I prefer this, so I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to trim down my sides to make sure they're even with the pocket. All right. And then I like pen pockets. So if I were to put one pin pocket in the center, I put it right in the center, that should still give me enough room if somebody, now the back pocket's plenty of room for a cell phone. So if you want to, and it's even one of the large cell phones, you can drop a large cell phone in that back pocket very easily. But if you prefer to keep it on the inside, if I put a pin pocket in the center, you still got room to drop a cell phone in. You should still have room. I think what I might do though, to make sure, I think I'm going to off center. We'll have one smaller pocket, one pen pocket, and then one large in case you want to put a cell phone in the center. So let me measure a little, do some measuring real fast. Let's say, and my phone, I'm going to measure it to my phone. My phone's right in front of me. So if we say we need seam allowance, okay. So let's say I know its cell phone will fit nicely at this point. So I'm going to, I don't want to use that. It's a silver pen, but I still don't want to use it. I'm afraid it won't come out of this right here. So I know what I'll do. I'm going to use it at the very top on the vinyl. I know it comes off on the vinyl. Or I'm going to use the line in my print. So I'm going to sew right to this line here. See that line right there, or right here? I'm going to sew on that line. And this is plenty enough space to drop a cell phone in and still be able to pull it out. I mean, of course, it's not deep, so you'll still be able to grab hold of it. And then I'm going to measure over from that point. Make my mark before I forget. I'm going to measure over from that point 1.5 inches. That will give me a spot to slip just at least a pin in there. Because again, I love pin. And then that will leave me with approximately a 3.5 inch pocket. And that's a great little pocket for, drop some necessities in. If you wanted to stick another pin, you could drop that in there. Or my thing is wet wipes. I love my wet wipes. I like to keep wet wipes in my purse. Especially when I go to the store and back, I like to make sure that my hands are clean after I leave the store. Okay. Mark my centers on one of my linings. Again, Tulip B, this is Smoothie Smooth. This is her ballet slipper. That is a gorgeous pink. I am going to mark my centers on this. Let me get that out of the way. I really don't, if I can just keep going and not have technical difficulties or anything of that nature. I'm glad seven of you came back. I appreciate that. I think I might have lost one or two, but gained one or two, which is perfectly okay. I understand, number one, I'm new at this, so not everybody knows I'm out there. And number two, I may not be to someone's liking. I get that too. I just slightly marked my center. So I'm going to measure down, since this is my piece. We're going to have a top piece, top band. This is where the zebra's going to go. So I'm going to measure down. Let's see. 2 inches from the center. So 2 inches from the top, I'm going to place line up my pocket. Let's go 2.5 inches. I think that's too close. 2 inches is too close to the top. So I'm going 2.5 inches down from the top. I'm making mark in the centerpiece, and then I'm just going to hold it. Now, you could put double-sided tape, like 1/8 inch double-sided tape on the side to hold it still. I think I can hold it still with my hand. I'm going to take these clips off. These were just holding it when I sewed on that top piece. I'm just going to get all this garbage out of the way. I'm going to keep my hand here and then, move it and then turn it. How's that sound? 2.5 inches down. Let me do it this way. We're already turned this away. So I got my center still. I'm going 2.5 inches down. I don't know what she has in the pattern. I didn't look, so I don't want to take from her pattern or give anything away, so I don't know if this is what she puts in her pattern. So I'm getting my thing. Oh, and my thread that I'm using It is Kasaya's from Saya Swag Bags. It is her cotton candy variegated thread. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is like, I think, my #1 favorite thread of hers, besides Be My Know Me. I swear, I think it goes with everything. And if I make it match. I made a bag. It's the Lavender Twines Moonwake. It is, I made it with the Morocco leather from Emmeline Bags. It was the, was it the Moroccan Blue? Moroccan Blue. And I used this candy cotton candy thread. It's gorgeous. I've had so many people tell me how beautiful. I forgot to go up for my lines, for my middle, for my pen pocket. That's okay. We can go back and do it. It's okay. But anyway, I do backstitch. Sometimes I'll make like a little triangle there, but I think we'll be okay on the backstitch on this. My pen's been sitting on a magnet all night, and it's on my scissors, and it they're grabbing everything. All right, so I need to go and find my pen pocket spot. I marked it on the other side of the bag. So let me get my spot again. Guys, I twisted my pocket. All right, we're good. We got it. We got it. 3.5. There's that spot. I'm just going to do a quick little marking just on the vinyl, so that way I can remove it from the vinyl. So there's that spot, and then I need to go 1.5 inches. Let's go 2. Let's see. Does that give me enough space for a phone? No, I need to go back over that 1/2 inch. So we need to go. There we go. And that gives me room for a pop pen. Yes. So again, this is my pen space is 1.5 inches between the 2 sewing spots for the pen. And then on the side, I have about 3.5 inches skinny pocket, and then a 4 3/4 for a cell phone. And again, a cell phone will sit in this pocket if someone chooses to stick a cell phone inside the bag. It'll pop a little bit out because it's not deep enough, but it's plenty wide enough for a cell phone. All right, let me go ahead and put these pocket lines in to make my split the pocket, because I forgot when I was sewing the pocket on. So I'm going to do that. All right, and I'm using the lines in my pocket to guide me. I'm just going to go over and just back over, find my space. This is the black line, and then go up. Perfect. And I am going to singe the threads on the front here with the lighter. Just be careful, because if you got vinyl and you got your backing, just be careful when you singe so you don't burn anything or melt your vinyl. That just cleans up your threads, so you don't have dangly threads. Okay, boom, there you go. And then again, like I said, you can put your plenty of space to stick a pen right there. Boom. I love my pen pockets. I love my pens. I love my pen pockets. Okay, so that's on. That's set. Looks good. Let's go to the pocket. We got to do the zipper placket before we do the upper lining panel. Now, in her pattern, she does give you the option to use magnets as a closure or a zipper as a closure. I chose to do a zipper placket closure versus a magnet closure. That's just my personal, and plus the little flap that has a magnet on it. So My bag will be extra secure. Whoever gets it, whoever buys it, they will get a nice secure bag. Zip it shut, snap it shut. And if it was my daughter, she would just leave it hanging wide open. She, how many bags I've made her? Oops, that's not very center-ish. Let me fix that. And she leaves them hanging, everything unzipped, and drives me crazy. And she's not a double zipper person. When she helps me with my bags and sets things up, and she'll not have, if I have a double zipper, like my Hugo handbags, they're all double zippered. All right, can you see me now? I thought I had myself on Do Not Disturb. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you, Sharon. I appreciate it. You keep me real. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm putting my zipper overlay on. Basically, since she does not have a zipper overlay in the written pattern, honestly, what I use, I keep this handy. This is actually the zipper overlay from the Rudenasia bag by Lavender Twine. This is what I use. I keep it handy, and I need to make it out. I need to get my little cutting board, flimsy cutting board, flexi cutting board, make me a heavier plastic template. I use this for any bag that I convert to a zipper overlay, because this is like a standard size. It's like 8 inches long by 1 3/4. Yeah, 8 inches long by 1 3/4. It's great size. I use it. That's the size I use every time I convert to a zipper overlay. Finding my centers. And then I am going to go probably the same 2.5 inches down from the center. Mark it. Got my center. I'm going to just hold it like this. I just undid the top double-sided tape until I get the center placed. And then just set it down. You just got to be careful, make sure it's straight. Since this is a curve at the top, since the top is a curve, it's hard to go and do this, you know, like measure 2.5 inches down all the way. So you kind of got to eyeball it, honestly, and make sure that it's straight. There we go. Okay. Yeah, the doctor called to make sure he was okay. He's fine. He's fine. He's just sitting on the couch. That's all he's doing. I figured he'd come down here tonight and sit. Probably didn't want to sit and listen to me go on and sitting at his desk. He's been cleaning his area. He does models. Like AMC models where you get the cars. He very particular about the cars he does. All right, so you're going to sew on the exterior. If you're not familiar with how to do a zipper overlay, you sew on the exterior after you place it on your lining. So you're going to go around the exterior at 1/8 of an inch. You should pull your threads through at this point, so you don't see a back stitch. And since this is white background, I am going to pull my threads through. Sometimes I just double or back stitch, but because of this type of vinyl, the very light color of the vinyl, I am going to pull my threads through. This looks a little wonky. Hold on. There we go. No. It's not looking straight, so give me a quick second. There we go. Oh, let me get my thread. Yeah, I thought I had myself on Do Not Disturb, and I don't know why that call came through. Then then the voicemail popped through while we were waiting for me to come back. I seen the voicemail and just checking on him, so I went off a little bit. Just make sure you land in the spot you started so it looks nice and clean, especially if you're gonna tie them off. Just hold on to your threads when you do the flip, because if you don't hold on to your threads and you don't pull through the right thread, then you'll have what looks like a skipped stitch. Making sure this is the right one. Yeah, because if you pull through your thread and you're not holding on to it and you pull through the wrong thread, it'll pull the wrong thread through, and then it looks like you have a skipped stitch, and then it messes it all up. Now, I didn't hold on to these, so now I'm trying to separate them enough so I can tie them off. There we go. Got it. So just tie them up. We're getting right through this. Time we got 8:26. Ah, these won't stay. I can't hold on to them. Give me just a second here while I tie these off. I'm just... Whew. And I usually throw a little piece of double-sided tape on that. Basically, what that does, because there's a knot there, and it does, so it doesn't get in the way, I just throw a little double-sided tape just to kind of keep it up out of the way. Like up at the top, like that. Just so it's out of the way when I cut things out and sew the other line on. So now you're going to go in the center of your zipper panel. Zipper overlay. There we go. I had puckered. And cut out the center. Just make sure when you cut through the center, when you get to the side, you don't accidentally cut the vinyl. And then basically I just cut down to where right before you get to the double-sided tape that holds this zipper overlay on. And then just a little, about a, I don't know, a little over 1/8 of an inch around the hole. I mean, if you've done this before, you've heard it. It doesn't have to be pretty on this side. This is basically just to cut the hole out. Nobody sees it. It will get covered up by your zipper and your zipper pocket. So see, there's that. There's the front of it. And then there's the back of it. Now, for the pocket. Or for the zipper part of it. So I'm going to grab my zipper, make sure this is the right one. Bingo. And I always overcut my zipper when I do a zipper overlay. I do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, to this is my pocket. Make sure I grab the right. Number one, to yeah, here's my zipper pocket. Ugh, my brain stopped. To accommodate, because I put my zipper my zipper pull, wow. I put my zipper pull at the last minute on. So I need that extra length. Plus, I like it in case sometimes my pocket shifts off to one side, and I like that little extra leeway. All right, so here's my pocket right here. Now it's all one piece because this is a drop-in lining. Okay, and then so what you're gonna do is I'm going to Let me just make sure, because I usually have them in 2 pieces. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can cut this in 2 pieces and then sew them together. But we can also sew it like this. So in order to do it this way, what you're first going to do, because what you're going to want to accomplish is your pocket to look like that. And then you're going to have your zipper here. So what you first want to do, how am I going to do this? My brain isn't working, guys. I mean, that's not right. I'm going to cut my pocket. I know there's a way to do this like this, but my brain, I'm telling you what, and then the dog's barking upstairs. So she's driving me crazy. But she's a puppy and she's learning. Yeah, that's right. I'm not done. I have spent so long since I've done a zipper. I'm used to cutting them and have them cut in half and then sewing them together. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Sorry, guys. I am changing it. I'm going to cut this zipper. I'm making it a little lower because I know when I put the zipper on, put it on the panel, it's going to be offset anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and accommodate for it. I know I can do it the other way, and I know the other way, but I tell you what, I'm not saying it again. This is supposed to be a tutorial, and I am not doing it good. I'm doing good. I'm doing okay for what I know. Double-sided tape. I am a taper. Get that on there. You're going to put your zipper face up, wrong side to right side, and sew that at 1/4 of an inch. Hello, Chris Jr. Chris Jr. Sewing this on at 1/4 of an inch. Make sure it stays straight. It kind of went off a little bit. I do have a zipper foot for this machine. I don't use it. I think I got the wrong side. You know how you, for these machines, you buy a right or a left. It's not like like regular domestic where it's just 1 foot and you do it right or left. So I think I got the wrong side of the zipper foot, so I just have to sit there and mess with it. All right, so I got the zipper on. Again, it's wrong side to right side, and then you're going to take this piece and you're going to fold your zipper, flip it to your zipper's right side up to the wrong side. Now I do stitch this down. You can double side tape it down or stitch it down, especially with the Smoothie Smooth, this nylon pop. It doesn't lay flat, and to iron it, it wouldn't hold it anyways. So I just stitch it down just to hold it so it's flat. I'm fine. Just been a busy day. Okay, so then I'm going to take my other piece. I'm going to put some more double-sided tape here. And then I'm going to put this to the back side of the zipper, on the wrong side of the zipper, right side up, wrong side of the zipper. Just line up your pocket. And what you're doing is you're putting it at the top of the zipper tape. Like that. So you're lining it up. That way, when you unzip it, you're inside the pocket itself. And then you're going to stitch this at 1/4 of an inch as well. Actually, when I stitch the top one, I don't go a full 1/4, but that's because when I put it in the zipper window, the little window here, especially when I'm using such a colorful tape or colorful thread, I don't want that thread to show through. So I kind of, what you would call in the world of quilters world, a scant 1/4 inch, honestly, is what I do at the top. And that's so it doesn't show through my zipper window. Okay, so there's my pocket there. So you've got it like that. Again, I just cut it in half because my brain just was not registering very well. And because I guess because I'm doing a live and I'm trying to read comments as well at the same time. Okay, I gotta get me a moderator. So double-sided tape on the front of your zipper tape, like this. Still using 1/8 of an inch, just keeping it close to the edge so that way it doesn't get on in the way when I sew the zipper pocket onto it. Get your zipper, get your lining piece back. I start with peeling off the top first and then just line it up. You can mark centers if you want. I just pretty much line it up and I eyeball it, which that I'm just gonna go over just a tad bit. Again, I have not put my zipper pull on yet. I will put it on when I get this all lined up and ready. I don't do the zipper pull until this is part's done because a zipper pull will make it wonky and I don't like that bump that it gives me when I do it. That's not well. That was too much in one side, not the other. So I'm just trying to line it up, make sure. There we go. That's better, much better. All right. Now I'm going to flip and take the bottom tape off. No, Chris, I don't. No, that's not how you spell it. And I don't know how I'm going to do a moderator, but I will get one. I just started doing lives. So right now I'm learning, and if I get a moderator, it would have to be somebody that I actually personally know. Only because I'm, again, new to doing lives, and I don't, I think it would be best to be somebody that I know. No offense to anyone. I am not trying to offend anyone by saying that. Okay, so when you sew your pocket to your lining, hello, Kara in Australia. Thank you so much for watching. When you sew your pocket to your lining, you start with your back of your pocket. You want to open it up like this and then start sewing. I start from the top and go all the way in a circle when you sew it this way. You don't have to do the start and stop method if you sew it this way. You can just do one full circle. Just make sure your back of your pocket is up in the air so you don't accidentally sew your pocket shut. I've done it, trust me. Pull your threads through so you don't get that back stitched. And you're just doing 1/8 of an inch. And if you keep your pocket out of the way enough, it won't, this won't interfere in your pocket. Sometimes you might catch just a little bit of your pocket, which is fine. It's not going to hurt it to catch a little bit of the pocket. You'll just have like a little bit of a lip in the back of your pocket, but you won't see it because it's the top part of your pocket. And guess what I just did, guys? Guess what I just did? Okay, guess what you're going to learn? How Toni fixes. We get to learn how Toni fixes her pockets when she forgets to put the zipper pull on because she always waits to the last minute to do it. I'm talking about it. I'm mentioning it. And I did it. I did do it. And that, I'm sorry. All right, let me line this up. That's not, there we go. That should line it up, I think. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get finished tying this off. And then I'm going to fix it so I can add my zipper pull. And basically all I do, really honestly, is I unpick the stitching at the very end and then restitch it. I know, Sharon. I am so bad about doing that. I honestly, you'd think I'd learned by now not to do what I just did. not to wait to the last minute, but I still do it. Terrible about that. I don't know how many I've done. I've done, oh, I put it on because I shared it on, I don't know if it was on the Nomi's page or what, but I sewed 2 Philippas, and it has an exterior pocket on the back of the Philippas. I sewed 2 of them. Beautiful stitching, I'm not gonna lie, it looked great. And I forgot to put my zipper pulls on. And I'm like, are you serious right now? And I stuck it on her page because it was like, I think Susan had just done it or something. All right, so all I'm gonna do is remove the stitching on the very end, and I just dropped my seam ripper. And I'm just gonna remove the stitching, and all I really need to do, just take off like that, if I can get a hold of it. And just, I mean, obviously be careful. And then all I do is go back and stitch in that spot there. Now, I will have to back stitch, but this is variegated thread, so it should be fine without it not being like ugly. But see, that's another reason that's good that my zipper pull, my zipper tape is longer than it should be, because it'll make it easy to put my zipper pull on in such a tight spot. And I think it's a small zipper pull. I don't think it's, once time I did this and I had a big zipper pull, and I like to never got it pushed through, and I'm like, you know, this was silly. But I don't want to about to undo this whole thing just because I messed up. See, I just pulled that off like that. Just pull it back a little bit. And like I say, since I got a nice long tail, it's okay. Let me grab my zipper pull before I start doing this. Yeah, I mean, it's not that tiny. That's not a bad zipper pull, so we'll get that on there. I think that's let me look and make sure that's not my exterior zipper pull. Oh, wait a minute. No, my exterior zipper pull. This is my zipper pull for the exterior. I love this. This is from Size Swag Bags. Oh my God, I love it. Zipper pull. I need to order some more. They remind me of the big hoop earrings from the 70s. Yes, I grew up in the 70s. I was 5 in 1970. Boom. There you go. Now I just got to stitch it back on. Just make sure my threads are clean. And everything looks good. Let me fix that thread there. Again, I'm going to back stitch, but I should be okay. I'm just pulling this thread, and I'm going to start like 1 stitch back and then back stitch. That will secure the thread where I cut it, and also secure the thread where I am stitching. And again, and the reason I mean, I could pull this thread through, the one that I'm starting, but since the other thread is short, I need to make sure that thread is stayed and it doesn't pull through the thread that I cut off of. All right, I'm gonna hold on to my threads real quick so they don't pull through. I'm gonna go 1 up, 1 back, 1. Make sure I just stay within the holes that I just punctured. I'm right on the holes. I just got it. I went past it just a smidgen. There we go. And then I need to go up 1 hole, 1. I think I'm right. Okay, so I'm right at it. 1 more. That takes me 1 past. Bingo. This should secure it. You can't hardly even tell. I don't think you can tell. And I will just run the lighter to singe those spots. To cinch those threads. I'm going to run the lighter on both sides to cinch the threads. Doop, doop. Just be careful, as I said before, be careful with your vinyl. Boom. There you go. Zipper pocket done. Zipper pull is on. Looks good. All right, now let's close up our pocket. Just zip sew all around it. I wished my pocket was a little bit longer, but that's my fault. That's my fault. It's fine. You get too deep of a pocket, then you lose stuff, right? I always go over my zipper teeth a couple of times. Oops, I think that went past. I should have sewed from the other side. I should have marked where my pocket's too short, and I went, oh, not too far past it. Okay. There we go. All right, let me just trim that pocket up. Oh, let me fix this real quick. This pocket's just a little bit wonky. Thank goodness this is just a pocket. It's just a pocket, interior pocket. Not even gonna tell. And then trim up your zippers. These are my zipper scissors. Just some cheap scissors. I don't know if I got them from Amazon or Sam's. That's all I use these for is zippers. And then if you cut your threads, if you cut your zipper tape at all, make sure you re-singe them to help keep it from fraying. Alrighty, done. Zipper pocket sealed. All right, now just got my centers marked there. Let's make the zipper placket real quick. Zipper placket, I'm just going to do this real quick. What time we got? We can do this. So I'm going to do my zipper placket real quick. She gives you on the pattern where to mark the ends of your zipper placket. So these are all marked. I haven't marked these yet. I'm going to mark just the one end of these. I do not mark the one end of my, let me reword this. I only mark one end of my lining part of my zipper placket because I match it when I fold it in at the end there, if that makes sense. I don't, that way in case my, I need my silver pen. That way, in case this stretches a little bit, because sometimes your vinyl will stretch, you've got, you can work your lining to match it. So it's not off center. Because if your lining on your zipper placket is too long, it will show up in your placket, and it doesn't give it does not give it a nice clean look. All right, so I'm just marking, like I said, I'm just marking the one end, but I am going to put double-sided tape on each end of the short ends. So 4 ends will get the double-sided tape. I'm doing all pieces here. And thank you for those who are watching. I see I got a few extra in there. I appreciate it. And just curious if, I know I have some from Australia. Sharon, I think you're in Florida, right? I'm trying to remember these things, guys. I know Delphina's in Arizona, because that's where I wish I was. But I don't think Delphina's on here tonight. I don't think she made it, which I'm sorry not to miss her. Yeah, if you can just tell me where you're at, I would appreciate it. I know this is evening. I am Eastern Standard Time Zone, so this is almost 9 o'clock where I live. Okay, I do remember that. I did remember, Sharon. Good. All right, I'm going to take, first things first, grab your zipper. You're going to do the little 90-degree turn on your zipper. That is one frayed zipper end, and it needs to be straightened anyway. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit and straighten it. Make sure it's straight, because when you do your 90 degrees, it makes it a little easier for you to make sure it's even. So I'm going to, Illinois, Diane. Diane, you're on Saya's lives too, aren't you, sometimes? Your name looks really familiar to me. I think you're like me, a Saya fan. You should come to her Ohio swag dash. She's going to be in Ohio in September, and I'm really trying to go. And I met her and Susan last year when they came to Ohio, when they were doing their sewing in the States. Actually, it's when they went to Danny, when they met Danny. Because Danny lives, well, she's outside of Loveland, Ohio. I don't know if, I don't know if, I'm assuming, I mean, she's out there on the Webiverse, but not sure if I should say where she lives. But anyways, and she's the one that's doing the sewing machines. But they're going to be at, oh, thank you. Yeah, Diane, try. They're going to be, they're in Springboro, Ohio is where they're coming, which it's about 2-hour drive for me, which is fine. It's actually a nice, it's not a bad little drive for me when I met them last year. And what's funny is my husband, because he used to work up in that area, he came with me that day. Plus I was meeting strangers, and I'm like, I'm not worried about it. And so he came with me, and he sat, I mean, there were other husbands there too. My husband wasn't the only one. And but he stayed out in the car the whole time. Thank goodness it wasn't a hot day that day. It was June too. It was in June. We didn't have hot weather that day, but he did. He stayed out in the car the whole time. Gasia's like, why don't you let him come in? I'm like, he doesn't want to come in. He's very antisocial. We're very opposite. Maybe that's why we lasted 41 years. I don't know. Who knows? We were too young, too stupid. No, we weren't stupid, honestly. It's been, yeah, we'll be married 41 years in November. And our daughter will be turning 40. I had her, got pregnant with her pretty quick, just saying. All right. Let me fix this. I'm just doing the little 90-degree turn. I go down 1/2 inch. Some of them have you do a full inch to mark down and then have the little tail off. But I just go down 1/2 inch, and that just gives you, it's just equal. Just make sure you're even at the top. So I'm just going to do and put a little quick little stitch in there. Yeah, I heard, if you didn't hear Diane, I think it was it on their live? Yes, it's the live that she did Saturday when she did her live Saturday. They oh wow, Diane, 49 years. That's great. When they did their live Saturday, they said if Ohio is real popular and they sell out quick, they'll add a 3rd day. But I'm trying to come Saturday. That's the day. If I can get in on Saturday, that's the day I would be doing it. I can't do Sunday. It's our church is having an anniversary service on Sunday because our pastor will be there 45 years on Sunday, that particular Sunday. So I don't want to miss it. That's important to me to be there. He's the one that married me all those years ago. But anyways, so I'm trying to get there Saturday. I'm hoping I can be in line and ready to go when they put it up to purchase for Saturday. Anyways, so yeah, if anybody's out there and you're close by, come. Oh yeah, they're having it at Carla Boomershire. I think it's Boomershire is how she pronounces it. neat place, really neat place. It's a great little community center for that area. And they teach woodworking. Her husband does woodworking. They do screen printing. Is it screen print? Silk screen? And she's nice as can be. Carla is, yeah, I just do Saturday. I couldn't afford to do but more than one day anyways. But it's a fair price. Honestly, for what they're charging, I mean, people, you can look at it and say, wow, that's a lot. But, I mean, it's a lot to come up with. But, I mean, it's the materials. You're getting materials. You're using their sewing machines. Everything. I mean, bring yourself. They're feeding you. I mean, sponsoring the space. It's a heck of a deal. I'm just saying. Bernice, I'm on the zipper placket of the, I'll go ahead and share the picture real quick. I'll show you my bag. I am making the new, it's the Rachelle by Shamballa. This is the exterior. This is the Rachelle. And yes, I am selling this particular bag. This is all Tulip Bee vinyl, every bit of it. Spring Meadow. I always have to look because I keep forgetting. Morning Meadow is the print. Saya Pink, her faux real Saya Pink. Her, thank you, Bernice. This is her Oceanic and faux real. This is her Glimmer collection. It's really thick and sapphire. Yes, I love it. It's beautiful. And then there's the back of it. Isn't it cute? You got your slip pocket, and then you got this is Heartwood and Hide tag there. It took me 2 months to, thanks Diane. It took me 2 months to be on their waiting list to do my tags. But once they reach out to you, I mean, it's like lickety split. The only reason why I had to wait a few weeks to get my tags themselves was because they went to Lauren Mormino's, she had a sew whatever thing. And they went to that. So it just took an extra week and a half to get my tags, and that's it. Thank you. Pooji, I think is how I should pronounce it. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Okay, so the first one, I'm just folding my ends in to the lines that she gives you on the pattern piece. I think my finger probably has stopped bleeding by now, so we're going to take this off. Yeah, it stopped bleeding. I'm good. I survived my cut, my live cut. So I am going to put double-sided tape. You can clip it or you can put tape on this. I prefer tape. So I'm going to put double-sided tape on this piece. That way I know I'm doing it the right length. Now you can do this 2 ways. I do it all in one swoop. I don't do, some you can put it on, baste it, and then put the lining on. I do it all once. I make a little zipper sandwich and sew it all at once. That comes with, oh, thank you, Diane. Yeah, they were at the so whatever summit, so it just took me an extra week and a half to get my tags. But I mean, when I set it up, I think it was probably her husband. I can't remember his name, that I talked to. It was all done online, just like as in a chat. They sent me, I make my zipper a little long because this was the end of the strip that I had. So when I cut this to the length I want, I don't want short choppy pieces. I want to have a longer zipper so that way I can use it in like a wallet or something. So in case you're wondering, the zipper tail is not that long. I will not leave it that long. Okay, face down on the exterior piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold in one of my ends, not both. This is how I do it. I have only folded in the one end that I start with. If I can get the tape off. And then, Sharon, I'm going to have to watch. Okay, that's fine, Sharon. Go right ahead. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being with me and sticking with me and jumping on the next, jumping on the second one. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a good evening and get some rest. Okay, so I'm gonna double side tape back here, and so I can make my little zipper sandwich. And then I'm going to put my lining piece, peel this off and put my lining piece on. And this is when I fold up the other end. Again, I do it this way to make sure it lines up correctly. Sometimes I like fold it like a hair too long or hair too big, and I end up having to unfold it anyways. So I just wait till I get to the end and fold it up. We're going to do this real quick. The other side, I'm just going to do it so we can get her done. I am trying to get this bag done tonight. I'm hoping we'll get it done. Okay, so we'll get this sewn on at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Just be careful of your zipper teeth. I was using a size 16 needle when I was working on my size sidekick. If you want to see what it looks like, go to my short, please, that I posted last night. Anyways, and I kept hitting zipper teeth and I think I broke 2 needles. They were size 16, and I think that was the problem, because I was using such a small needle. Not really such, but it's a smaller, thinner needle. Making sure it matches. But anyway, yeah, I just watch them teeth. Make sure when you get to the end, you do not go past your materials, because that will show up in your hi Jack yes, Jacqueline. I'm getting tired. I need to go and go to bed too, just like Sharon. Okay, just make sure you don't go past, because that will show up in your zipper placket. So we're going to pull this out, line these up, and then we're going to top stitch. I always do a clip it around. I always clip the raw edges first. I'm going to do some finger press. This Saya pink, this faux real, it's a thicker, it's not as thick as my glimmer, and that's a glimmer collection. Not as thick, but it's still a nice thick vinyl. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous vinyl. It's very smooth, and it's I would call it medium thick, maybe, if that's such a thing. Medium thick. It's in between like the Signature Smooth and her Glimmer collection. However, the Glimmer collection is beautiful. Okay, boom. So I'm just going to pull it taut so it looks nice. I always start my top stitching on my zipper plackets in my raw edge area, because I do my back stitch and everything there. That's where I always just start. And then just go ahead and top stitch all the way around. Just be careful when you get to up here. If you're worried about bulk, when you get to the top where the zipper teeth are and where your fold over is, you can always cut just a tad bit out of that. I can do the bulk. My machine can handle the bulk. I am just going to do a little bit of vinyl behind it to help it ease up over that ridge. But I'm dangerously close to the zipper teeth. There we go. That'll work. I made it. Yeah, I'm dangerously close to that zipper teeth, and I'm worried I was going to I got a size 17 in here now. It seems to work a little better. It's just, I just didn't want to go any thicker of a needle, because some of the projects that I'm working on, the vinyl is a little thinner, and I didn't want to puncture my vinyl. Or I have like big holes in my vinyl when I sew through it. Okay. So Jacqueline, I was asking earlier where everybody is at. What area are you in? I mean, you can just say the state. That's fine. I'm just curious. State or country? I think I don't know if you're in Arizona too with Delphina or not. That's right, Michigan. I think you told me that once. Okay, there's one side. Let's get the other side on. So you're going to repeat the exact same thing on the other side. Let's see how fast we can do a zipper placket. If I can be quiet long enough, you know, I can do it. Whew. But I have her in. I'm going to take a drink of my Coke real fast. I forgot to grab a water. I just have my Coke. I used to drink Mountain Dew. I drank Mountain Dew for years. And then when I had carpal tunnel surgery done in my left hand, my right hand, it was beautiful. I had it in both hands. Right hand, I had no problem whatsoever. Breezed through that surgery. I actually took 2 weeks off of work and didn't need to. I think Diane grew up in Michigan. You didn't move too far away from it though. All right, so let's, yeah, there we go. That'll work. I just want to make sure I am getting it right on the right side. But yeah, anyways, so I had my carpal tunnels done in my left hand, and I got an infection. Ooh. So I'm sitting here drinking Coke, I know, but I also have, diabetes. I'll just tell you, I'm just going to throw that out there. I have type 2 diabetes. Anyways, it runs in my family big time. So anyways, I had the surgery done. They gave me, of course, steroids in the surgery. No, this was afterwards. Hold on, I'm going too fast. So anyways, I make sure this lines up. Make sure it lines up when you do this. So you got that line up there, making sure it lines up here. Okay. But anyways, got done with the surgery. Oh my, Diane, see, I've moved around a lot, but I've moved grew up in the east side of Cincinnati, Ohio, moved to Milford, Ohio, which is not far from where I grew up. Me and my husband lived in the Milford, Goshen area for a long time, back and forth. And then 16 years ago, we moved to Northern Kentucky. That's it. Again, I'm not going to, I'm going to sound like a broken record. I just wish my parents would have decided to move out. Wish my parents wanted to be Westerners when I was a kid so I could be in the West. I don't know. I don't know what it is about the Southwest. I love it. I absolutely love it. I didn't go on vacation this year because I drive there. I don't fly. I've never flown in a plane. I ended up with an infection. I am rambling. Anyways, I am using a Tex 70. It's Kasaya Swag's cotton candy thread, and this is her Tex 70. And it is a size 17 needle, and it fits through the needle, and I'm not having any shredding problems. Now, if I'd have stayed with that 16, I think that was another part of my problem with the 16, with the needle breaking. And then I think I would have had shredding problems with the Tex 70, but actually with the other bag that I was using a size 16 needle with her Tex 45. So, but I wouldn't use the Tex 70. I mean, it's working with the Tex 70. I'm not having any issues with it shredding. All right. I am getting this done. But anyways, yeah, I ended up with an infection. So my scar on this hand is this long. It's just 2 inches. And then because I got an infection and they couldn't get it to go away, they put me on, I don't know how many different antibiotics I took. This has been 2 years ago. I ended up with this stinking scar on my hand, the size of almost the whole palm of my hand. The whole, my skin on the palm of my hand is only 2 years old. I lost every bit of exterior skin on the whole palm of my hand. And now I have synovial cysts all over the palm of my hand. I guess from the trauma. Who knows? I haven't gone back to him. He was a fantastic doctor. because we couldn't get the infection to go away even after I got out and had the surgery. I was in the hospital for over Memorial Day weekend and had to get a drip of antibiotics, and then I was still on antibiotics after that. Was still in pain shooting up the side of my hand. I didn't sew for a month almost, because I was at the same time I was going on vacation and I wanted to go so bad. This when we went to Tucson. The last time I was at Tucson. And I wanted to go so bad. I'm like, am I going to be able to go on vacation? He goes, I don't know if we can't get this infection to start to go away. And then people would see my hand. They're like, what happened to you? Just an infection. It wasn't just, it was bad. The pain was horrible. I'd rather have had more kids than have the pain that I had with that infection. That was awful. Nothing made it go away. It hurt so bad. They never did find out what it was either. The culture. They cultured it and they could never figure out what it was. But it's gone now. I don't even know what I was talking about besides my goofy hand. I'm just rambling, guys. Trying to hurry. Not really. I get it when you gotta leave. It's late. Okie dokes. Let's get her sewn on. And then once we get this on, we can start piecing the lining together. I went off by a half of a stitch. Yep, I went off by half of a stitch. I was going too fast. My lining, if you want a lining and a exterior to match, look at that ballet slipper lining, Saya pink faux real vinyl. These two colors almost exactly look alike. I mean, I'm telling you what. I didn't plan that when I picked it. I was just trying to go through my linings and try to find something nice to go in this bag, because since I was trying to make a pretty bag. Sometimes you just want to do a pretty bag. I'm doing my Johnny B. I've been cutting out my Johnny B. bin. Yeah. That's what they tell me, Diane. And, you know, the funny thing is I've not had really problems, honestly. And I have been, since my late 30s, I've been what they call insulin resistant. And then when they lowered the numbers, I blame it because they lowered the numbers, not because, you know, I don't take care of myself. But when they lowered the numbers, I was in my 40s. That's when they officially told me I was type 2 diabetic. I'm like, okay, fine. And I have been on so many different medications for various different reasons. Some, like that Rachelle, shoot, they discontinued that stuff because it was bad. And I'm like, oh, great, I was on that. I didn't like it anyways. I put on 20 pounds with that Rachelle. Oh, my God, I mean, you think my face is fat now? Woo! Chubby cheeks is what I had. And my husband's grandpa, husband's grandpa, he was a piece of work. He didn't have a filter. And when I put on the weight, he didn't hesitate to tell me that I was putting on weight. Thanks. Not like I didn't know it. I mean, really, especially being 20 pounds. And then when I went through menopause, I put on, well, yeah, I put on weight. Whoa. And I'm just now losing it. But I'm on Monjaro. And I'm not losing like weight fast like most people are, but I have lost some weight on it, so which is good, because like I said, that I'm telling you what, when I went through menopause, it was whoo. I started chunking out again, and I'm like, I cannot do this again. My weight has maintained the same weight since after I had my son. I've maintained my weight, even though it's not a healthy weight. I've still not gone, you know, above a certain number. But medicines, I'm going to tell you what, some of the medicines that I've taken has put weight on me. And then some of it has allowed me to lose weight. So, I don't know. Panel's done. Let's make our centers. Let's get this bad boy lining done. And get the lining in. What time we got? 9:15. Now, you guys have to leave. I get it. I know, like, again, I'm in the eastern part of the United States. So, it is getting late here for me. So, I understand if you have to go. That is not a problem. All right. I separate my zipper panels. I don't, some of them just, like, put their end on and then just wing it out. I don't, because I like to know where my zipper is going to end after I put my bag together. I'm really funny about where my zipper, the end of my zipper lays in my bags. When I get into a bag, I like to open it up and get into it. I don't like my zipper to be so close to the end of the bag. And I just put that little zipper in and then tuck it. So, with my centers marked, make sure you mark your centers. If you separate it, make sure your centers are marked before you separate it. And then I'm going to separate my zipper. Now, I'm going to sew this to my back panel first. I should have sat there and looked at this before I did this. When you sew your zipper placket onto your lining, you want to position it the way you open the bag. I like to look, have I crocheted? When I was a teenager, no, I wasn't even a teenager. When I was a little girl, my aunt taught us how to crochet. But that was 50 years ago. So I don't, I could probably sit there and think about it and do the loops, but that is about it. But yeah, my aunt back in the 70s taught us how to crochet. She was a big crocheter, but she was, I don't want to say she was a hippie, but she was kind of, sort of. I love my aunt. She's gone now. We lost her to cancer several years ago, but she, I loved her. She was, I think, my mom was very close to that sister. She, my mom would go out, she lived out in Reno, Nevada when she passed. And my mom would go out there and help her. Okay, so we're going to sew these on before we sew our, there it is, before we sew on our contrast, lining contrast band. So what you're going to do is you're going to have it zip. I want my bag to zip open this way from the back panel. So I want to go from left to right off the back. So I'm looking at my zipper placket here, and I'm going to attach this side, this zipper placket to this one, because when you sew your zipper placket on, oh, thank you, Starlin. Yeah, it's been years. I mean, she's been gone for years. I mean, it doesn't make you miss her. But yeah, she was out in Nevada, and I unfortunately, I didn't get to see her before she passed, but she dedicated her life to education. She actually was pretty high up in education out in the state of Nevada. She was over the adult education. My mom grew up in out in the country where my mother is very intelligent. She's a very high IQ. And all the girls in that family, they were very smart and they were educated as far as high school. Very few went to college because, well, back then girls didn't go to college. Grandpa would not let my mom go to college, even though she had a full scholarship. Long story. But anyway, she dedicated her life to education because she just not realize how many illiterate adults were out there in the world. So she did. She dedicated her life to education, and made sure, tried to get and many people to read as possible. So that was her legacy. All right, I'm marking my centers on my upper contrast band. I like to sew these on together rather than basting the zipper placket first. I don't have any issues, but if you're not comfortable with that, you can always baste the zipper placket first and then sew your upper lining contrast. Just keep in mind, there is a curve to the top of this bag. So when you attach this, you want to be careful of your curve and just work with it. So I've got my zipper placket face up on my bag, on my lining piece. I just got it I got it clipped just to hold it in place when I attach these. And then you're going to take your lining, your upper, let me get the correct words. Your lining contrast band is what this is called. Make sure you have the line on there that she gives you on your pattern piece, because this is for the drop-in lining, and you want to make sure that line's there before you attach it, because it'll be really hard to draw that line after you sew it all together. So put that line there. If you want, you can go ahead and put your tape on. That's up to you for your drop-in lining. I'm not going to until I get it done. So you're going to put this face down. The bottom of it is face down, and you're going to take the bottom of this and line it up to your bag. This is the top of the band, and this is the bottom. The bottom is the smiley face, I guess, if you could call it that way. So you got to work with this. When you sew it on, you just got to be careful. Oh my God, my center covered up. Having my center covered up with the clip, that really helps, doesn't it? Just ease it, because again, you're going with a curve, so you just kind of got to ease it. And since I already got my zipper placket on there, then I just gonna take my clips and move it around. And you just want to line up from the centers and work your way out. You will have a little triangle on the end, but that's because you are working with that curve. So you've got that little bit hanging out. And then just go, again, I just work from my centers out. Make it easy. Now when you sew this on, of course, go slow, because you want to keep that curve. Because if you don't curve it, make sure it curves right, then your bag, when you put your drop-in lining, it won't match well. And see, you got that little pucker, but that's what you want, because again, you're working with the curves. And just sew it at the seam allowance that she gives you. And I'm pretty sure, let me double check and make sure it didn't change. When you sew this on, I want to make sure it's the same as everything else. Also, as a note, if you're doing snaps instead of the zipper placket, you make sure your snaps are on prior to you attaching the contrast band, okay? And it's the same seam allowance. So let's get this on. I always back stitch in the beginning and the end, and I just want to go slow again so I can keep that curve in the bag. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side, just making sure my zipper placket is right side up on my lining. Whoa, we're losing it. Here we go. Okay. Now you're going to top stitch. Let's see how she's got. I keep wanting to use this like I don't know why my top stitch underneath the zipper placket. All right, so you're going to fold this up like that, and then fold up your zipper placket to the top, having your seam allowance go down to the bottom of the bag. And then you're going to top stitch under your zipper placket. So you're going to do a top stitch there. I'm going to use the same thread. I think it's pretty, and I'm going to keep that same thread that I have in my machine. I'm not changing it out for the top stitch, even though it's going to be on the pink. I think it'll still look nice. So I'm going to kind of push that out a little bit and then give it a top stitch there. Whoa, hang on there, slow her down. Get a little carried away. So there is, and see there's the lining, the top contrast, the zipper placket, so it lays up when you go into your bag. Now I've got one, I think it's, oh, I can't think of her name. One of them has you do it this way. So when you open your bag, it lays flat down in the bag. But she has Shamballa, Sammy's got you going it up. Okay, let's sew that other piece on real fast. Since I've already talked through it, we're gonna just get it sewn. I just real fast too, just to let you know that since you are doing it opposite, your zipper tail will go on the other side. So we're going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and clip it like that and get it going. Just make sure everything stays even. 9:26. I was hoping to get this done by 10. I was hoping to get it done by 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. Honestly, this bag really shouldn't take this long. I think the reason, well, number one reason is because, well, I won't shut up. That's number one. Number two reason, in the beginning, I had to fumble through a few mistakes. That doesn't help when you mess up and you have to redo something. But we were learning, right? Learning curve. I do want to do a full tutorial on this. It'll be a couple weeks down the road because I want to do a tutorial on her Serafina. It's an older pattern. I want to do a tutorial on that, and I've already got the bag cut. I've already made one. I started actually a tutorial on the Serafina, but I kept messing up, so I had to stop. And I finished it, and I cut out another one to do an actual full tutorial on. It's such a pretty bag. So that's why I didn't mind making a couple. I've got a show in middle of September, so these are great bags to take to my shows. Alrighty, guess what time it is? Guess what time it is? It is time to sew our lining panels together. Yay! Putting my zipper tails out of the way. My zipper tails are thinking like double the size that I need. But again, at the end of a line, I didn't want a bunch of little snips. And I have two little pieces. I want one short piece. So you're gonna line your lining up. I start my lining when they've got an upper panel. I always start right there so these match up, because if that is, of course, what's more important is to make sure these match up so they're not off. Boom. And then I'll go down. Sometimes this will be off just a smidgen on the sides, not very much. I just clean it up. It's not a big deal. If it's off a lot, then I look at and think I did a serious, terrible cutting job. But I cut my lining, I think, at the same time. I think I just did it all at one time. So my lining should be okay. I think if it seriously is off, if I mess up in your seam allowance. Couple more clippies. I was watching today. Chris at Simply Classics got a new purse hack for oh, what's that designer? I can't think of the name. She likes, I love watching her pattern hacks, or her designer bag hacks. I can't think of the pattern now, or the bag name. Let me reword that. I can't think of the overpriced designer bag. She's saying that this bag sells for $2,000 for a simple bag. I'm talking, there's nothing to this bag except for the fact that it had that fancy little name, initials on it. Is it Yves Saint, I can't even say it. Yves Saint Laurent bag, I think. I don't know. Just blows my mind that people spend that kind of money on a bag. You know, that is one of the reasons why I started making bags back in the day when I was trying to design my own bags before I knew anything about bag making. Honestly, I would sit down and try to make my own bags because I didn't want to spend, not that and the funny thing is I charge, you know, well, fair price for my bags. But I started making fabric type bags because I didn't want to spend that much money on a bag, and I could never find a bag I liked. All right, so with the lining, you start at the normal seam allowance, and then you just increase it just a little bit. That just gives you a nice a Louis Vuitton. Thank you, Delphina. Hi, Delphina. I didn't know if you could make it or not. But yeah, it just blows my mind, like and how simple the bag was. I mean, it's like I sat and watched something. I mean, there's like nothing to this bag except it's got grommets in it. I don't like, but then you know what? The grommets that she used, that Chris used in that bag, I'm gonna tell you what. When I get the money, I'm gonna buy me some of them kind of grommets. They are snapped together. There's no screws or anything. And she says she sells them in her store. So they're 1/2 inch. She says they're 1/2 inch openings. She sells the tool to make the hole for the grommets. She's got me sold. When I get the money, she's got me sold. Oh, I've spent a lot of money on Tulip Bee vinyl lately, so I kind of need to back off a little bit until I sell some more bags. Again, increasing my seam allowance, really honestly, just by 1/4 of an inch, just to give this a nice free A nice free. Yeah, I'm reading, Delphina, I'm reading your comment, and I said free. A nice fitting lining. Yes. And Delphina, that is correct. The pattern Chris put out, Simply Classic Bags. She's got great videos. She makes really pretty bags. But she does, like I said, she does hacks on designer bags, and she did a free pattern for this hack on this designer bag, the Louis Vuitton bag. So if anybody's interested, go out and check her out. Check it out. I like watching her. All right, I'm going to trim my seam allowances down a little bit. I'm going to trim down the end too a little bit, because I'm just going, since this lining isn't like very thick, it's that smooth nylon. I am going to just nest my seams. When I get to this part here, when I trim my seams down, I do clip the little corner there. To take that bulk out, because it is exterior vinyl on that piece there to keep bulk out. I do trim that little corner off. This is not a tremendously big seam allowance, but I do like to keep it trimmed down to about 1/8 of an inch to keep it from being bulky at the bottom of the bag. All right, one more side. And then we're going to, whoa, got almost too close to the stitches. So we're gonna get our corners done. Boom. I'm gonna nest my seams, if I can get a hold of them. So you can do them with your seams. If you could have left your stitch, you could have left your, your seams there. You couldn't have to trim down the very ends. You could have just turned off before you got to the end, and you could have left your seams open. That's fine too. A lot of people do that. But like I said, this stuff's really easy to work with. This nylon, it's really easy to work with. So I just nest them. Just make sure you keep it straight. Sometimes it wants to look like it's got a curve to it when you do this like this. I just kind of work with it. Again, it's like I do 1/4 of an inch more than what she tells you to make it a nice tight lining. And then we're going to put our tape on. I am going to put the tape on this first because it's drop in. We're gonna put double-sided tape along the top of the raw edge. I think I mentioned it in the beginning. I am getting to like, the first time I did a drop in, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like real pretty. Because I didn't think the top looked finished is when I first did it. And I think it's just because I didn't, it was on my domestic, and I didn't, I went too far away from the top. When you do the drop in, I will show you here in just a minute, Abigail. Yeah, I'll show you the exterior here in just a minute. It's beautiful if I do say so myself. I'm just saying. I'm trimming my seams down again. But anyways, just make sure when you do a drop in and you do your top stitching, you just got to stay, just be good with your top stitching. It is hard because again, with the drop in, you've got that open seam. But more you do it, it does feel a little bit better. And I'm liking it more because it's easier. You don't have to turn the bag through and my hands, I'm gonna tell you what, it's getting ugly. I'm not gonna lie. I take just enough. I take the Clofenex sodium just enough, just to take some of the paint out, but like right now, my hands are killing me. I might have to, and I have Voltaren just in case they get to the point where I can't sleep at night. My hands are starting to get all twisted, and my fingers, I mean, and it just, it's ugly. It's hereditary. What can I say? I mean, I figured I was going to end up with arthritis in my life because it runs rampant through my mom's family. I just got it earlier than most. It is what it is. Yeah, Abigail, just a moment and I will show you the front. I am right now putting on my double-sided tape on the top of my lining. Make sure you open your seams up on the side. I am using 1/4 inch because to me it holds better, not that 1/8 of an inch around this, because I feel it doesn't have enough stick, especially since you're using an exterior vinyl. And this exterior vinyl, this is a little on the thicker side. It's the Saya pink, the faux real from Tulip Bee, and it's a little, I call it medium thick is what I call it. My seam opened back up. Here, let me get this back. I'm getting ready to tear this off, and then I will bring the main bag. All right, so there's that. And then we're going to fold this down. So give me a second and fold this, take all that off, and then fold it down to the line. Just be careful when you fold this down here because you're going to have bulk. Sometimes I'll go in maybe and snip a little bit and just cut out some of that bulk, because when you fold this down, that bulk will like crumple in the center and it won't be flat. So I'm just doing that. I'm just kind of doing a little triangle-y thing here, like that. And it just helps for it to fold down and not be so bulky. Sometimes you might have to like squeeze it tight, like with the pliers or something. And I'm going to put a clip there because that doesn't want to stick because it's so heavy. And then just be careful when you fold it down, because again, this has a curve in the bag. And the top of this bag has a nice little curve to it. You shouldn't need to make any snips to relax it. It should lie really nicely because it's not like a sharp curve. It's what do I want to say? It's a nice curve to ease into, I guess you could say. I'm just going to make my little triangle here to relax the seam. And I'm going to fold it down and clip it. Yeah, because it's heavy and thick there, and it just doesn't want to lace. It just does not want to stay. Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's, my mom asks me all the time how I do this with my hands. I don't know. Again, they hurt at night a lot. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to whine about it. I mean, I'm not whining right now. I'm just talking about it. But I love it. I love doing this. I mean, I absolutely love this. It's kind of actually addicting. It's kind of like I'm a bag addict. And since my kids are grown, I don't have to worry about kids. My husband, he has his things. I mean, yeah, he does sometimes get mad when I'm messing with this a lot, but it happens. Okay. So see, I've got it all pushed down like that. So this is ready now. Let's grab the bag. Oops, it hit the floor. Didn't even realize it hit the floor. Sorry about that. All right. So here's my exterior. The flap. I did the mat. She gives you 3 options for the strap. You have where it's just looped. So you'll have 3 loops. Where this takes it down. It looks tight because this isn't folded over yet, but it'll go down with 3 loops, and you just loop it down. That's one option. She does a second option, which is the magnetic snap, which I did. So you do 2 loops, and a snap on the back side of this piece here. And then there's a third option, which is a thumb lock. I think you still do one loop. I think with this option C, I don't know if there's loops on option C. I think there is just for looks, but it's a thumb lock. So you got 3 options. Then you have, of course, the 2 options for closure at the top. You can do snaps, 2 snaps in. She gives you placement if you want to do snaps, or the zipper placket. I like the zipper placket. I like that extra closing my bag, sealing it up, nobody's getting into it kind of a bag. So there, that's my exterior. I need more 1/4 inch double-sided tape. So I'm going through my stash and I'm pulling them out. So I get all my double-sided tape from Walmart. My 1/2 inch or my 1 inch, I get it off of Amazon. I can't get 1 inch from Walmart. And so I just do the, and I don't use it like for a lot for my bags. I just use it mainly like backing of stuff, or, I put, if I put foam in at the bottom, or just, you know, general, that's when I use that 1 inch double-sided tape. All right, let me put that little tiny bit I have left on to the side. So I'm going to just use this new roll. I know what's left in that other roll is not going to work with this. So I did want to mention, when we sewed this, remember we had to worry about these matching more than the top matching when we attach the gusset. Sometimes you'll get that little extra. I just snip it off, honestly. It's not, as long as you're careful and you know what you're doing, you can just snip it down. Now, you've got your line in there, so you just have to be careful when you fold it down. You just have to readjust your fold down line. And I'm just going in really easy, just a little bit. I mean, you're not going to tell, as long as you keep that angle, you're not going to be able to tell that I had to do that little snip. So I'm just going in, just snipping this down at least a little bit, just so it matches. Boom. Again, I've just got to keep that angle. And then when I do my fold down, because it's in the gusset, you really don't need to remark it, honestly, because when you start folding down the main part of your bag, you're going to get that, this is going to pretty much decide where your sides are going to lay anyways, if that makes sense. There we go. I just need to make sure. So these are nice and even now. Again, my line in here is a little off, going to be a little off because I had to match these up and it made this a little longer. But when I start folding these down, this will fall right into place. I won't need to worry about it. Now, what you will need to do, so this lays, when you fold this down and you keep that V, you will need to snip just a little bit into that V right there. So that way, when you lay it down, you still have that V like that. So you just want to put a little snip in there. So when you fold it over, maybe 1/8 of an inch, if that, and that allows that V to stay there when you fold it down. All right, I'm on a double-sided tape. Hi, Katrina. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. I mean, it's late here where I'm at. I'm in the eastern part of the United States. Actually, I'm Midwest. I'm in what was referred to as the greater Cincinnati, northern Kentucky area. Technically, I'm in northern Kentucky. So it is almost 10 o'clock here. Yes, I have been doing this since a little after 7. I had to stop because somehow my connection got messed up. I started on my tablet because my phone battery was about dead. But in the meantime, my phone charged enough to be able to go to my phone when my connection got lost. And I prefer to do it on my phone than my tablet because my tablet was not showing the comments very well. And I'm sure there's a setting I could have changed, but I was rushing. And I was not very well prepared, I'll be honest with you. Today was a busy day. My tape is like hanging, like I'm trying to keep it from like totally unraveling down inside my bag. Sometimes I wonder if you put the tape on before would make it easier, but I don't know. Just make sure your seams are open when you get to them. If you've not done drop-in linings before. Now this bag, my flatbed, it's really difficult sometimes to do linings, top stitching. Hold on, let me get my, I've got this like, my double-sided tape is like half unraveled. Not half, but there we go. It makes it difficult to sew top stitch. But this has got a nice, it seems like it's got a nice wide opening. So I'm hopefully, I am not going to have difficulties top stitching. I'm hoping. All right, so I'm just folding down just like I did the lining to the line that she gives you on the pattern piece. Remember, when you get to that V, just be a little careful so you can get that V. I'm folding it to the line on my panels because remember my line is messed up on my gusset since I had to trim a little bit. I'm just kind of working with that curve. I love the shape. She's always got nice shapes to her bags. She's got curves and all the poverty bag that she had, the Secret Sew. I loved, this thing is so heavy. It's pulling my bag. I call her Hippie. The poverty bag that she came out with, the Secret Sew. She's got that little, I call it Hippie at the bottom where it comes out a little bit. I really like that bag. That's a pretty bag. I did do a tutorial on the poverty. The thing with that one is I did it as the pattern pieces were released. So it's kind of like in a bunch, it's in like four videos. So some people may not want to watch it because of the way I did it. But it's I don't know if there is a full video tutorial for that, like all in one setting for the poverty bag. My seams are not wanting to flatten. I'm gonna have to put a clip there because that's not wanting to flatten. Just be careful on this little V here. I almost cut too much into it. So just be careful, but see how you can get that little, you just have to snip, just do a little snip there to get that V slant. Because see, it gives you that little slant in the bag. All right. We are getting ready to stitch this together. Woohoo! I'm not going to do the straps on live. What I'll do is all of the fancy stuff, all the little extras. I'm just snipping into the sides a little bit of my seam allowance to help this lie down flatter. I'm struggling with this. I'll do all the prettying up off camera tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. And I'll post a picture of it when it's completely 100% done. Like the with the handles on it and everything, because it's late and we want to at least get it together so we can see what it looks like. All right, I'm going to clip that little corner, clip that. I'm going to hold that. I'm going to get my little pliers out and do a little flattening here real fast. This just helps distribute some of that bulk. These were jewelry pliers, and this had little pieces of plastic on it to protect my vinyl, but they fell off. And they're flat. They're not ridged or anything. I just a quick little squeeze. Sometimes I'll just throw like a piece of fabric or something over it to protect if it's real soft. I got some vinyl that's from Wonderground Fabrics. It's a smooth vinyl, and it's like really, really soft. I'm talking like buttery soft. I'd have to protect it before I put that on there because I feel like it would just like totally tear it. All right, make sure you put your bag in, back pocket. I want the zipper. I prefer the zipper pocket in the back of my bag. So I'm going to slip it in there. Nice. Hopefully it fits in there nice and tight. Let's match up my centers real quick and see how well it fits before I start stitching. Before I start doing anything, and if I need to tighten up the lining, I can. So I'm just going to line up real quick my centers just so I can get an estimate of how the lining fits. What's nice too is your seams aren't going to match. You've got a center seam here from your lining and then 2 side seams. So you're not going to have a bunch of seams come together. So match up your little divots in your bag. Man, these guys, the bulk, even though they just don't want to lay flat. Hold on. I'm going to have to get at least a little bit aggressive with my scissors. Just a little bit. I'm not going crazy. Not going crazy. They just don't want to work with me. All right. Trying to get this down to where that little divot is in the bag. I just right now am trying to determine if my lining is going to be nice and snug. I don't like a baggy bottom. So I'm just putting it in there, just flatten it out, seeing if it's nice and snug. Oh yeah, that looks good. See, that's a nice lining right there. Boop. All right, clip it up. Just be careful when you sew your lining to your bag. When you sew it all together, that your zipper, because when your zipper placket is up like that, that's the one thing I don't like, my zipper plackets being pointed up, because they get in my way when I sew my lining, when I do my top stitching. I have issues with that. Oh, this is so pretty. Again, I was trying to make it like a pretty, just a pretty little bag. I liked her picture. The picture Sammy has on her cover of her pattern. I really liked that she used fabric in her cover picture. Sammy did. I mean, I don't know if she made it or not, or if it was one of her designers that made it, but this is fabric here. And I liked, I don't know, I liked the print, and I wanted to have some kind of floral print on mine. And I had some of this left over, and I thought this would be beautiful. Spring summer bag. I think it's pretty. Of course, I don't have another show until the fall, but oh well. I was going to do a show this summer, but it's outdoor. The only other show that I was going to join is outdoors. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't have good luck. Of course, my next show is outdoor in the fall, but I'm going to tell you what, my two outdoor shows that I've had, woo! First one, I lost my tent. Second one, it rained so hard. And yes, I have videos on them. Just letting you know. My very first live was when me and my daughter were in that rainstorm. Just a month ago. We're clipped, guys. We are, what is it? Final stretch. Final stretch. So, I'm sure I have enough bobbin thread. I'm pretty sure. I'm not checking my bobbin. I'm going to play chicken bobbin or bobbin chicken because you will laugh at me the way I change my bobbin. I cannot reach in under my machine into the little tray, through the tray to change my bobbin. When I bought this, the oil tray, the pan that comes underneath the machine was pre-installed, and they made it to where it's too close to the edge. Either that or my hands are too big, fat. I cannot get in there and grab my bobbin and pull it out and push it back in. I cannot do it. I've tried and tried. So I literally have to pull my machine back, change my bobbin, and put it back. So I won't do my, I mean, I just told you, I might as well do it now, right? Since I told on myself. I'm good for that. I am good for telling on myself. I see a thread. Hold on a second. I see a loose, not a loose thread, but a wandering thread. All right. I always start in the back. I'm going to back stitch. You can do your threads, pull your threads through if you want, but I am going to back stitch because I'm using the variegated, so I think I can get by with it and not be that noticeable. I'm still going to pull my threads a little long so I can hold on to them so I don't have problems with a little gather or anything. Make sure your placket is out of the way, your other piece. Now again, I have to struggle, but this is a big enough, I think this is a wide enough bag where I can get in here and do this. So I'm going to start back here on my piece. Let's see. I don't want to have to turn it inside out and do this. There we go. Boom. Nope. We're going to do this. I am going to make this work before I have to turn this bag inside out. Nope, that's probably not a good idea to do it that way either, is it? I always have to play with it for a minute. I think I'm going to have to turn it inside out. I don't like the bobbin thread to be on the top. I mean, I've done it, and it's not turned out that bad. But, I'm thinking, and I know it's late, and I need to think fast. Oh, man. Guys, I'm going to have to turn it inside out. Or trust the bobbin to be a nice, good stitch. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trust the bobbin to be a good stitch for me so I can stitch this and we can get it done. All right, guys. We're doing it this way. Doing it. I'm doing it. Do it. Do it. All right. Here we go. All right. Just got to keep an eye on it and making sure I just hate sewing it this way because I hate when I miss something. I kind of started where my strap will go over in case it does look yucky where I started it. Told my husband last night I need a cylinder arm. He's like, good luck. Yeah, I know. Gotta pay this one off first. I wouldn't have room for a cylinder arm. Even if I could afford it. I have nowhere to put it. Nowhere at all. I mean, you all see my space most of the time. And I've been working on it, trying to decrease stuff because I have no space. I'm going to try to work on doing all the pretties at my lunchtime tomorrow when I go to lunch. In case you didn't know, I work from home, so I'm able to come down in my sewing space at my lunch hour, which I do every day, and I can finish this bag out. I'm also cutting out a Johnny B travel bag by Rachelle. That is Kasaya's I must do a little plug for Kasai's Patreon right now because it's great. I think the sew along part is I forgot which tier. I think it's all tiers. I'm not 100% sure. But sew along part, but she's got her lowest tier is like only $1, and it, you know, it gives you a couple things. But that's what I started out with, and then I seen what more she had to offer, and I love it. I am a top tier, know me, and you get Zoom calls with her once a month if you can do it. It's her and Susan. They play games. But anyway, the sew along is the Johnny B travel bag by Cheryl Laron. I'm cutting it. It is a monster. It takes a lot of materials, I'm not gonna lie, but I tell you what, I can't wait. I am using Lauren Mormino's rubber boots. It's black rubber boots vinyl. It is awesome looking vinyl with her teacup roses and the black and white vinyl as my accent. And then I'm using Tulip Bee. Yes, it does. It takes a lot, Diane. And honestly, I got the, yeah, and I'm using Tulip Bee's gray. What is her color? Stormy gray, and her Signature Smooth. The 3 colors, because when I cut out part of it, the black part, and I got to, when I got to the sides of the bag, I had to rethink it because I didn't have enough of the black rubber boot to do the sides black, because I was going to do the sides black and the pockets with the teacup roses, the black teacup roses that Lauren has, and I had to rethink it. But if you get enough, a good color combination, you can still mix it up some. And Sherelle's got great pattern tester pictures in her pattern, and it gave me some ideas on how to mix up the colors. I'm done, you guys. What? I am done. Woohoo! But anyway, yeah, I can't wait. It starting. Yes. Have I talked before? Yeah, I talk too much. Cutting starts Thursday night. 8 o'clock Mountain Time, which works great for me because that's 6 o'clock my time. That means I can tell my husband it's nerd sewing night, so he thinks I'm never, you know, I usually don't get to bed until after 10 when it's nerd sewing night. Look at this beautiful bag. Let me get my zipper pull on. Again, I'll do the straps on later. Let's do a pretend look. Let's do a pretend look. Let's get my zipper on. My big, beautiful. Where's my zipper pull? Ah! There's my zipper pull. There's my straps. Let's do this. Again, I'll finish this up tomorrow during my lunch hour. I will trim out the zipper. I will put my zipper end on and my straps and everything, like permanently. I'll do all that tomorrow at lunchtime and post a picture of it when I am done 100%. But let's get a look at it. It's late. I know y'all want to go to bed if you're in the same time zone as me. I don't know if that's leaving. Let me zip up and see if I got it right. Oh, perfect. Oh, my big, I love these zipper pulls. Ah, I love it. Okay, zipper's on. Nice closure. Look at that. Nice and tight top. Snap it shut. Look at that. Woo! Let's get that zipper pull out because that's a zipper pull you do not want to hide. All right. Let's mock up. Let's just mock up the one strap. Up. Toni Lorraine. Oh, sorry. I'll give you my middle name. You don't want to hear my hillbilly middle name. Now, these straps are made short because you put a crossbody on, or you don't have to do the crossbody and make the straps a little longer. Whoops, there went that clippy, right? This is thick. Oh yeah, look at that. Oops. I'll show you where my hardware came from here in just a second. My strap crossed over. Oh, look at that. Is that not pretty? Oh, look at that. All right, I'm gonna bring my camera up. Whoop, whoop. Whoa, whoa. We went for a ride there, guys. Sorry about that. You got to see my lovely basement ceiling. There we go. It's a little crooked. I accidentally turned my screen off. Strap connectors. Let me see how long they are. The straps themselves or the connectors. Can't get my phone to stay straight. We're gonna have to go that way. The strap connectors themselves, they are, I got them from Kasaya, sayaswag.com. They are from the little tip here to the top up here. They are about 2 inches. So from here to here is 2 inches. And they fit a 3/4 inch strap. Again, that's from Kasaya, Saya Swag. My zipper pull as well is Kasaya's. She's got like a big flower, these big circles. I call them my 70s earrings, my big hoop earrings from the 70s. That's too pretty to hide. That's got to stay out like that. There you go. I think I even got this little zipper, the tiny one. I think that got that from Kasaya too. I think that's where this zipper pull came from too. But look at that. This, I think I got this from Sally Tomato. I don't know if I got it from Kasaya or Sally Tomato. I can't remember. But look at the bag. Here, I'll pretend like with the purse strap, like that. Let me stand up, guys. I'm gonna stop being so lazy. And then we're gonna end it with that. And then again, I will post. Oh gosh, I do too. Again, I wasn't sure when I threw the blue in. I am stepping on clippies, guys. More broken clippies. That's nice. That's okay. But see, there's that. Again, I did such a mixture of colors, and I like the way it turned out. I had backup. If this didn't work, I was going to do this here and just make it all one color here. But I love the way it just kind of stands out. I love it. It's so pretty. And then the back, you've got the back slip pocket, big enough to put the big cell phone in. And then, again, the interior, I did the standard. She had welt pockets, which I didn't do. I'll trim this down. Honestly, this will get trimmed down. I usually cut mine off about right here because I like my zipper to go out a little bit. But here's the inside. This is Tulip Bee Smoothie Smooth. And this is left over from her Cupid box, what Kasaya did. This is what this pocket's made from. So this is not available for sale, but she does have all pink though, without the black stripe. Annette does. And I just did a standard zipper pocket instead of the welt pockets. And it's a nice roomy bag too. Nice roomy bag. My tablet. Check this out. Let's see. Let's get this. This is the big, massive tablet. This is the big one. Look at that. And I can still zip it shut with my tablet. So that's nice. Boom. I mean, there you go. tablet's in the bag and it fits. I mean, you can still zip it up with the tablet. I love it. Okay, I keep saying, this is it. I'm done. Whoop, there you go. I love it. So pretty. All right, guys. So, again, tomorrow evening, I'm going to fix it at lunchtime. I don't know if I'll get able to get it all done at my lunch hour tomorrow before I post, but definitely by tomorrow night, I will post the 100% with all the straps on and everything. And my zipper, and my zipper trimmed down to the right size. I will post it by tomorrow night. And I thank everybody for watching. I really do. Again, I know I've said it a bazillion times. This is my first live sew. It did take so long to do. But I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed yet, thank you, Delphina. If you haven't, and Jacqueline, thank you so much, Diane. If you're not a subscriber, I would greatly appreciate it if you become a subscriber as well. If you can give me a like, I would greatly appreciate it. That will help this get out to others and get my channel out. My channel has actually grown a lot. Well, thanks to Annette at Tulip Bee, it grew really a lot in 2 days at the beginning of the year. Annette, I mean, I've never met her, but she seems like the nicest person in the whole world. But anyways, and then because of that, it has caused my channel to get out there a little more. And I'm so excited that I've gotten as what I have. I mean, I really am. I really like it. I really love doing this. I mean, honestly. But anyways, thank you so much, guys. Good night to everybody. It is, what, 10:15 here? Let me look at the time. Yeah, it's 10:20 here. So I am going to turn my lights out down here and head upstairs and go to sleep. I am exhausted. Thanks, everybody. And everyone, have a great evening. And we'll talk soon. And hopefully I'll come up with another live sometime soon. And maybe it won't take so long. Thanks a lot, guys. Good night. Bye.